welcome to today's video insight. Yesterday we talked about your consciousness screen and your mind, and that your mind is fully unconscious and that it needs you for the things that involve consciousness, where consciousness is needed. So, since your mind is fully unconscious and knowledge requires consciousness, in order to know things, you need to experience it. Consciousness, the word, it comes from the Latin conscire. It means with knowledge. Your consciousness screen is the anchor for knowledge, and it's the basis for knowledge. It's as soon as you are aware of something, you know something. And we also said you are aware of differences. So you know the difference. And also we talked about the concepts of happiness or quality, or goodness, badness. These things are invisible to your mind, but you can see them. And your mind actually needs you. It doesn't really need you, it's just a mechanism you can use, but you need to interact with it. So the thing is, your power lies in seeking understanding about what is true, about what is good and important. As I said, truth the concept truth or knowledge always involves a conscious interaction. In order to know something, you need to be aware of it. So the basis for our knowledge must be the consciousness screen. All the knowledge must be built inside the consciousness screen. I can give you an example. Someone could give you a mathematical equation and tell you the result. He says, okay, the result is 5. You can just believe him and say, okay, yeah, I believe you, it's 5. But you don't know. You don't know it then. You would know it if you really would go through the math consciously. Then if you did the math yourself and saw it for yourself, then you can verify if it's true or not. And then you know. So, and the same thing, you need, I said logic applies to reality. And if you have the right premise and do the correct logic, your conclusion will be correct and apply to reality. The right premise and foundation for building your logic for life is the consciousness screen. So you must build everything there yourself in order to know it. And then if you have then built something where you have the correct premise, you do the correct logic with a mismatching, the law of non-contradiction, and going to extremes. These are all tools you can do logic with in your consciousness screen with a certain foundation. And if you then build something correctly, it can be stored as knowledge. But it's just stored that way in your brain then. If you really want to know and check again, you need to do it again. You need to walk through the steps, like with a math equation, in order to check your knowledge, if it's correct or not. So knowledge always involves really seeing the steps or the logic that's involved and checking it over, and then you can verify the result, if it's correct, the conclusion. And then you can anchor stuff outside as well. So sometimes it's our brain, we feel a certain way, but we know, hey, that's incorrect because we build something outside of the system, or so to speak, the unconscious system. We build it consciously. We can store it as being correct, and then if we see, okay, a certain part of our mind comes to a different conclusion, we can break it against our knowledge and see, hey, we built that, we know that it's correct, and this feeling or this conclusion, if it's contradicting what is true, it must be false. So that's how it works, and how we convert our whole thinking and mind to what is correct and good. Yeah, so here were many indications, but the insight of this video is the correct foundation for knowledge or basis is your consciousness screen. Knowledge, all your knowledge. If you want to know something, you need to build it yourself. You need to go through the steps with correct logic, a correct foundation and premise, and then you get correct conclusions or truth, and then you can use it to transform everything into goodness. See you next one. Bye bye.